Going live. We are live on air. This is the Love Your Life, and I'm not 100% sure if you can hear me right now or even see me sound like a robot. Right, because we're going to have fun today regardless. So excited for those of you who are coming to play with us. It's going to be me and Sarah, and we're going to be in this present moment by letting this magical moment unfold. So you might see there's a little note, sticky note in the side there, which I've put. Hear me. You can read. But I'm going to introduce Sarah Lynn and let you know a little bit more. A spiritual powerhouse with an open and expansive connection to her willingness to dive deep in any matter and her finely tuned ability to see past words and appearances is benefited by her razor-sharp focus, crystal clear, multi-dimensional vision, and highly refined intuition, resulting in an elevated potential for expansion, transformation for her clients and workshops participants. Being in Sarah Lynn's presence, yes, her presence, exactly that, what we're going to be today, is an open invitation to turn to one's true nature. And I've been feeling that true divine nature this whole morning since we've been on the call a little bit before, chatting and laughing and chatting, laughing and laughing and laughing. So this will be a real fun one. Sarah Lynn's embodiment for yes, even internet listeners, is apparent with their warmth, great flow, and joy. Light-hearted humor and gentle playfulness allows people to feel sharing their deepest emotions and lightly step into the love she holds in divinity. Human channel, meaning the divine force comes through her. She is the voice of source and a divine creator. And I'd like to introduce you are girlfriend.
Hi, Bev.
That you came to play.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Bev. Thank you. This is already so much fun. Bev said we have been laughing for a good 20 minutes because she sounds like a robot. And I'm so excited that she's come into this space where she's created this show for us. And it is completely falling apart. Her technology is not cooperating. And she's taking it in presence, which is hilarious because that's what we're doing today. We're being completely present in now. And this is what's happening. Shit's going downhill right now is what's happening. It's just not what she wants it to be. It's not what she expects it to be. It's not really what any of us anticipated that it would be. We thought there'd always be a seamless experience, and I don't know, this is kind of actually a lot more fun than when stuff is put together and neatly packaged and presented. I mean, I haven't laughed this much in days, and I invite you to join the joy because we don't know if you can hear Bev. We don't know if you can hear me. I know I can't hear Bev. I can see her from time to time, and it's also completely perfect for the topic of our show. So you know, if you've got lead in your boots this morning, you shake it off, because this is the place to just let go, let yourself unwind and be with us as we are unwinding out of any of the expectations, out of any of the past. The past is kind of a cool thing because we go to it as a reference point for the present and the future, and that just doesn't get to happen today because it's really not being held together at all. And it's so much fun. So for a little while, I may get to be Bev's role and my role, and that's kind of cool. I enjoy that, and Bev is enjoying it as well. And I don't know if they can see you. I'm not sure if that's how this works right now or not, but
well, Sarah Lynn, I don't know if you can see me or hear me. Can you hear?
I can hear little bits of you.
Okay. Little itty bitty bits of me. So I am here. I am on the call.
Okay.
Although I put you as special for being seen the time for the time now. I'm going to put you back on screen, obviously. In the chat, and I will look at questions. And if there is a question, I'll hop in and I'll say, Sarah Lynn, can you hear me? Okay, ask the question. Is that okay? Let's play.
Yeah, that's cool. We'll play. And also I'm looking at the chat as well. So if any of our friends who are playing with us today have anything to say, go ahead and put it in the chat, and Bev or me or both of us will see it, and we'll connect and we'll communicate. So let's dive in, eh? You ready for that? Let's do that.
Woo!
You know, I think we may have just thought of our show title, How to Be Present When Everything is Screwing Up. Is there any other option? Yeah, is there any other option, actually? When stuff is going right, it's easy to go on autopilot. When stuff is happening, when life is happening the way that we have planned, or the way that we think it should be, or the way that we recall it being, thus in giving us a false indicator of success, because that's how it was, you know, do we actually get to be present? I don't. Being on autopilot is not being present. It's not. It's running automatically. So when we are present, there you go. Take a deep breath, everybody. Feel into that. When we are present, does it matter if things are working according to the way they did in the past? No, because that was a different moment. So in this moment where you are, I invite you to focus yourself into this space here, into where you are right now, into your body, into your own heartbeat, into your breath, into the room you're in, into the chair you're sitting in, into this space right now. And has there ever been another moment like this ever? You may draw similarities, may notice similarities. Some things might be familiar. And yet, has it been this exactly? So, what more is there for you when that presence that you actually are is allowed to have its space? And when you give yourself permission to be exactly as you are, with everything going on around you, exactly as it is as well. Sometimes we get this notion that if we move into presence, we can use it as a tool for manipulation. Anybody ever done that? I have. If I just come into presence, I know everything will work out. Well, okay. And it might not the way that you think it should, because even in saying that, you know, even in instigating a tool, are you actually exerting control? Are you actually attempting to manipulate and change the situation to be something that is familiar, to be something that replicates the feeling of comfort or security or safety that you've once had? And there may be times where that is the point from where we function. And bless it. It's a key piece of existence to know that there's a space to go to beyond the space that we're currently in that can shift all the potentials of the now so that we can experience our true selves, so that we can experience our heart, so that we can be in the being as the being of the being. There we go. You guys are smooth. And what if there's more? What if we can even go farther and even go deeper into it? And what if we can come to presence? There you go. What if we can come to presence in joy? Just for no sake of anything whatsoever, but to be there, to be who we are, to feel all of us, to feel the entirety of us. Embrace the weirdness of every situation that we come into. Stuff does get weird. Like, life does some really interesting things. And they're not always fun, and it's not always an instantly joyful experience. There's stuff that comes up. That's fine. It completely has permission to be there. It completely has, yes, we can. We can certainly laugh at it, Bev. We can certainly laugh at it. That was our coping thing this morning. Was when Bev's world was falling apart, and what do we do? Do we cancel this one? How do we go on? She started laughing hysterically. Her entire body was involved in the laughter. And that space that she allowed herself to be in, no matter what that emotion was, she could have been crying hysterically as well. She could have been stomped. She could have been in any frame of mind whatsoever, and it would have been totally okay. Because the point of it was that she was suppressing. She was holding on and controlling the way something was supposed to be. She was not being present in what was. And you're, Bev, I love that you're such a perfect and willing example of this morning. So we're going to keep going with this, okay? keep using the crazy perfect that you're giving us right now. Because we've all had it. We've all had it, and we've all been able to love it or not love it. And I want you to know that it's totally fine. If you love it or you don't love it, that's okay. That's completely okay. You don't have to love it. You don't have to not love it. Whatever is there, that's your presence. Do you get that? Whatever is up is your presence. And so if we're running from what's up, can we also be present? Or are we trying to go somewhere else, do something different, be something that is not there? And can you also choose to come back into the space of, holy crap, this is not what I want it to be, and check back in where you checked out? And whatever's happening, can it be that? And is it okay? Yeah. Oh, here's a good one. Thank you, you guys. I really appreciate you bringing this up. Is it an indicator of what's meant to be if stuff is coming up? Is it our blockages? Is it our limitations, our lacks, and our fears that'll bring all this stuff to give us roadblocks, to stop us from doing something? And is it a sign? Is it a sign that we shouldn't do the thing if we're constantly getting blocked up? Feel into that. How much of that is indicating your locus of control? And do those questions even need to be answered? Or instead of chasing the answers to that and wondering, because if we're chasing, we're going outside of ourselves, will coming back to your breath, to your heartbeat, to your moment of now. There you go. Return you to the wholeness that you are. See, you're actually never anything but that. We are always all that is. Nothing is condemning us. Nothing is cursing us. We are always all that is. Everything is in complete support of what we are and who we are. And being in presence taps us into our infinite nature. So is stuff going wrong, stuff getting crazy, an indication of your success or your failure? Is it an indicator that there's stuff that needs to be worked out? Is it an indicator of lack or limitation? Or is it part of life on the, and can you take it as it comes, knowing that regardless of whatever it is, whatever the stuff and the things are, that you are in your wholeness and everything always works out. So we're going to drop into that piece of control. Are you responsible for making sure that everything works out? No. And if you are not initiating that responsibility and holding things together, yeah, if you're not initiating the responsibility and holding things together, will it actually be easier for the life that you are destined for to give itself to you? This has been a really interesting space for me for months, probably. Not really sure about the timelines. The space of being outside of the realm of control when it comes to creating my life. And I know that so many people toss and turn with this concept. Concept of fate, concept of destiny, our locus of control. Do things happen to us? Do they happen through us? Do we create? Do we manifest? Do we make things come to us? Do we manipulate the matrix? How does it all work? I think it's different for everybody in every stage of what they're all doing. I recently encountered a situation where because I was surrendered, to my life, I was identified by somebody as being a victim of just letting life happen to me. That was this person's idea of victimhood. And it was explained to me how control is how this all works. We create everything that we have. We manifest what we want. We choose, we put in our order, and then it's served up to us. And it was kind of cool to be able to sit there for a while and go, yeah, I totally get where you're at. Totally get that. Because I did that for a long, long, long time. And there were a few times where it sort of worked, but not really. Not really. There was no argument with this person. There really wasn't even much of a conversation because there was no conversation to be had. So, I got where this person was at, but I also really got where I was at. And I am not inviting you into anything. I'm not asking you to embrace anything. You already know where you're at. You already know where you're being called to. You already know what is true for you in this moment, in this stage. And you already know that as you grow, different things are true. So all I'm doing is sharing. And in the space of sharing, I'll tell you that as I let go of any notion that this life was my responsibility, life came flooding to me with ease. So much ease. Stuff just gets put in place. Everything always works out. I have what I need before I need it. So with no invitation, just with a sharing, I claim the space that it is possible to be completely blissed out in life without having to work for any of it, without even having to know where to go, what to do, or what to want, what to choose. I don't know. It really doesn't matter anymore. Surrendering to destiny is this space. Destiny used to scare me a lot. A lot. To say that there was this whole thing that this life was supposed to be that I was going to be catapulted into. Oh, I had some control issues. Really, I did. And I didn't want the purported God or some imaginary force to be pushing me into anything. I didn't like the idea that there would be things happen to me that were outside of my control, which to me meant outside of my safety zone. So I get it. I really get it. And if that's where you are, you're not alone. People have a path. I wonder if the destiny of our lives is simple. And I wonder if the powerful moment of now, where we are present, is the space where we are so completely peaceful and able to embrace that we don't have to be in a constant dizzying of making life happen. And I wonder if surrendering and falling into, oh, that's interesting, surrendering and falling into the hand of God. I like that term, the hand of God. the hand of all that is. I wonder if that is the space of divine creation. Divine desire, inspired desire, is the tool, or perhaps it's the untool. It's the flow of information that shows up. Sometimes we call it intuition. It could be that entirely. For me, it shows up as a heart giggle, where this something will pop in that I've never thought about before, and it's fully fleshed out already energetically, and it pops into my heart and makes a bit of a hiccup or a giggle. That's how I know that there is an inspired desire in the making. And those are the breadcrumbs. And as we do those things that pop in for really no good reason, that's identifiable in the moment, or it may be completely identifiable in the moment. We're open to that possibility too. Things show up, things work out, and whatever is coming is supported by the actions that have been taken. It's interesting that they want me to tell you this, because okay, so here's a moment. This is beyond my comfort zone. And yet it's something that I get to say right now. So a month or so ago, maybe a little bit more, I had the idea that my husband should buy a different vehicle. And it didn't make any sense. But it was the heart giggle. It was so strong. And he didn't buy into the idea because it didn't make sense. Until one day we walked into a truck dealership, and he walked straight to a vehicle that was on the showroom floor that was exactly to a T what would be perfect for him. And he resisted, and we left. And I let him have his resistance, no problem. Go ahead, you don't want this thing that's perfect and sitting there for you? All right, that's fine. And by the time we got home and walked through the garage, he was on the phone to say, okay, I claim this is mine, I'll buy it. And he went through some stuff. We went through some stuff because there were things that had to be adjusted to make it even more appropriate. And those things came very easily when they were allowed to come easily. And after he got the truck, there were things within the truck that he didn't know about when he bought it that actually made it so that he didn't have to alter it in any other ways to suit what he needed. So that was kind of cool. But the icing on the cake for this was that the truck he bought is new, and it costs significantly less than his old one to run. And it actually costs the exact amount less that we now get to use for something unexpected that came up yesterday. A long-standing thing that we didn't know about came to light yesterday, and it got really uncomfortable. And it wasn't uncomfortable financially. That didn't enter our space. In every other way, it was really uncomfortable. And as we left the appointment and we were driving home, he said to me, do you realize that having this brand new truck that costs so much less to run is actually going to pay for the very thing that we get to pay for? But yeah, so there's that. See how it just works out. And as we be present, as we stop the scurrying and the multitasking and the planning and the worrying and the putting ourselves everywhere else but here, right now, all of that stuff, all of those events are coordinated on our behalf. And so now I invite you into that. I love that so many of you have already invited yourselves. And so now I invite you into noticing and walking with inspired desire and being in a space of surrender to the present moment. Surrender to what life has for you. Breathe deeply and check in. Is there more for you that your life would love to give to you? Is there more for you that's waiting in the wings that all of the parts of you, incarnate, energetic, physical, emotional, spiritual, intellectual, you're just waiting for that space to open so that you can have all that you are? And will you be present with it?
Yes.
Bev, I heard you.
You know, the funny thing is presence, it's very true about us going into presence to try and control the situation. So we think, okay, if I'm present, then everything will work out the way I want it to work out. Like you hit it on, it's exactly what I breathe, be present. Come on, internet, be present. It's almost like I'm trying to resuscitate my breath. and the more I try to resuscitate it, the more. So if I just go, oh well, then all of a sudden it's just like, okay, if it does or if it doesn't actually affect me in any way. So true, we can be in context with anything in our lives. It almost feels like this huge, if you do it with your whole life, with everything, that you don't have to try any, you just allow it to be whatever it is. And so one of my things is I want to have so much, that I just want so much expansion for all of the coaches, and I want it to be such a beautiful, amazing, enlightening show watches it. And it was like, this is getting in my way of what I have to have, of what I'm controlling into existence, because it's all about me, and I'm and you're so funny.
I love that you said, I'm controlling this into existence because it's all about me.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, and what?
There's the like I don't know if you, oh God, did I miss you there? We both spoke at the same time. There's the fear of looking like a fool.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to look like a fool, but oh well, then I'll be that energy. I'm the friggin' fool, please. And everyone else can play the fool. Let's laugh like crazy lunatics.
Yeah, Barbara, I know. Yeah, Barbara says Beverly is still going in and out for me and I can't hear everything. That's true. Neither can I, and neither can Bev. And that's part of where we're at right now. So Bev's going to type, and what she's getting at, what she's trying to convey to us is that she is aware that she was trying to control all of this, and that she wanted something for herself. She wanted something for the people that she is interviewing. She wanted something for the people who are watching. And so she was trying to make it into something and exerting a lot of control in doing that. So, Bev, I hope that I summarized that for you. And Barbara, if you need more clarification on that, just type back into the chat and we'll continue playing with it. And this is, it's what we're doing here today. Everybody here is part of this complete surrender, because the technology isn't doing the thing that we want it to do, so that the thing we want to happen can happen. Wow. You feel how many steps are in that? And bring it to yourself. How many things are you doing so that something can happen, so that you can have something, or be something, or do something? Well, there may be a point where you don't get to do that anymore. There may be a point where life says, okay, I'm actually taking over, and you're going to get to feel that in a really big way. You're going to get to feel how much there is for you when life gets to live you. We can use a lot of different words for life. We can use God, source, universe, key. I mean, there's all the words that contribute to the same feeling. You just replace it with what you want to. But when that is able to support us, or rather, even when it insists upon supporting us, we'll find ourselves in situations where it's glaringly obvious that we have no control. And that the control that we've been trying to exert is actually preventing us from, it's actually preventing the provision for us that we ask for. So do you get that? So oftentimes our personalities will be in a state of wondering, or of the belief in lack, experiencing limitation or discomfort. And so our bodies and our personalities will send out a signal of, help me. Help me. I'm in need here. And it's a pretty instant reply for that supply that we're looking for. There's no time turnaround in that. It already is. And yet, because we may be at, or being in a belief of any sort really that cuts us off from that, because we're not being present, we put that delay in ourselves. And if we're controlling the way it comes to us, or controlling how it comes to us, or when, or what even it is that comes, then we're going to be given the gift at some point that shows us how we are actually already supplied everything that we've been looking for, and that is supplied in advance of our asking. And I invite you even further into that. So take a deep breath. And if you're ready to walk that step, you can even go into giving and receiving is something beyond what we think it is, and that it's beyond exchange. It's being transformed into the having. It's the tapping in to all that we are. Where in the powerful present moment that is, we are all energies, and we are completely fine in every moment. You know, we'll often project into the future. How many people do that? I mean, I think that was a way of life for me for a long time. Going into the future and not having what I needed in that projection. Well, no kidding. Because I wasn't there. Couldn't be there. I was here. I was in this moment. But living in another time, or going back to the past and remembering not having, well, I wasn't present then either. So if we're projecting ourselves into the future, our body experiences a lot of anxiety because they miss our presence. And I'm going to say that again. When we are projecting into the future, our bodies feel anxiety because our bodies notice that we're not present with them now. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow. Could you say that again? Because that was wow. Whew.
Yeah. Okay, take a breath. When we are projecting into the future, our bodies feel anxiety because they sense that we're not present. And our bodies don't like it when we're not being present with our whole being. And so we start to run anxiety. Our body there's science to this that if you're interested in it, look it up. I'm not going to go into it here because I can't speak with any authority about it other than my own experience, and to know that it is it creates our biochemistry. Is that our bodies will feel this anxiety when we are not being present, when we're projecting with our thoughts into the future. Now, imagine the power that we have if we're projecting our lack into the future. If we're looking at the future and going, oh my God, I don't have what I need. So not only is your body anxious in the first place because you're not being present, but it will actually go, oh my God, you mean I'm never going to have what I need? I don't have what I need now, and I'm not going to have what I need in the future. So do you feel that current, and now you can just let that pass. You don't have to give that to yourself. But you got a hit of it. You got a hint of how that's compounded. And come back to presence. Do you have everything you need right now? Yeah. So expanding on the future, we have no concept of the future as infinite beings and as bodies. It's kind of an ideological thought. The future that we can perceive is actually a projection of our past. So we go into the past to guess, really, to suspect what may be true in times to come, because we have no other reference for it. And when we're being present, there isn't a call for any future. So if we're going into the past, if we're dipping into the past to look at what was, what may be, we're really creating a recipe for unrest and for anxiety. We're creating a recipe that doesn't serve us here and now. So presence is a topic that we give a lot of lip service to. Even in coaching circles and in people who work with consciousness, it's a buzzword. Be present now. And I invite you into the experience of it. And then once you have the experience of it, I invite you to go even deeper and deeper and deeper into that presence. So take a deep breath. And give yourself the gift of what is. Notice where your attention is. Often we'll move out of presence and set our attention on something that is needing healing, something that needs our love, something that needs space. So on your breath, bring your focus to that thing where your attention is being drawn. And let's just let it be. Let's notice it. If it has something to say, let it speak. If it has something to show you, take a close look at it. Continue deepening your breath and bring your attention to your heartbeat. And as everything that is asking for your attention is allowed to come to form, and you are willing to be with it, you're willing to be in the space of it, you're willing to hold its hand, continue breathing and notice all of the aspects. Notice all of the feelings. Notice your body. Draw your attention to everything that surrounds the thing that's asking for your attention. And notice all of those energetic contributions. Breathe again. Deepening your breath and letting your body relax. Notice the feeling that your body has now as you are present. If there's any pain in your body, draw your attention to that space and give it your full presence, give it your full attention. This is what life is asking of us, is for our full attention, for our awareness, for our presence. And you notice as we're called beings, it's an action word and a noun all at the same time. Noun and verb all in one. Be, to be, ing. For the action of being. And we are the be. And so no matter what is happening for you, no matter what's up, no matter what your day is encompassing, will you be? And does that feel better than leaving yourself? How do you feel when you leave yourself? When you leave yourself all alone and you go off somewhere else because the present moment isn't pleasant. Do you get to do that anymore? And isn't that the ultimate abandonment? To leave yourself? Come back now? And is it the ultimate gift? Is it the right to claim your space and be present? Being present has a lot of different names. We can call it allowing. We can call it loving what is. We can call it permission. Presence. Here and now. And so as we have been in presence here, this has gone entirely differently than any expectation any of us could have had. And look at the magic that's unfolded. So your presence is a gift to the world. Your presence is your gift to you. Your wholeness is your return to who you are. And in that presence, you are completely provided for. There is nothing else, because you are the all it is. And when you pay attention to that, you get to experience all of it. Thank you, Bev. I am so thankful to you too, and to everybody who's watching and to everybody who will watch. I am going to go ahead with what we had discussed earlier, because I'm not sure if we're going to be able to hear you or not. I have a gift.
Yes.
Okay. Everybody watching, if you would like a personal Life is Paradise session that is brought through just for you, with sound therapy and with messages and guidance, today, I think it's for the next week, you can book that session and receive $30 off using the coupon. And I know that you have that and you're going to put that in the chat. Am I right? Just nod if that's true. Oh, now your screen froze. Oh, Bev, I love you. Okay, yes, you heard me. Okay. Awesome. So those sessions are about 45 minutes, and they're an intimate time between you and me and Source and those who love you most. And so they're usually $127 Canadian. With this coupon, you get $30 off, meaning they are $97 Canadian, and they're a lot of fun. It's something you can listen to again and again and again, and you can pick your focus for it as well. So if there's something that you want to bring into fruition in your life, or you want more of you, or something that you're currently going through or working on, we can customize it to that. It is entirely guided. Neither of us really get involved other than you stating your desire or your intention. And they seem to be remaining effective for quite some time. I started, it was probably April, and I still get feedback from people saying how much they continue to enjoy them to this day and how they still affect change. We use crystal bowls as the healing tool, or as a healing tool, because of the sound, because of the frequencies that are activating different parts of you. And I really love to use heart frequencies. So I have a bowl that really seems to just get into the heart and open it even further and take you even deeper. So they're very enjoyable. You're welcome to book them, and there it is. Thanks, Bev. She just posted it there for you. So we'll honor that for a week. So today's the 22nd. Let's go till the 29th. You can go ahead and book your personal time. You also don't have to be in person to do it. I have quite frequently done them where the other person isn't present, where you're not there. And just as well. And you then get a lovely treat in your inbox with a downloadable recording that's yours to keep. Yay! Yay!
You can hear me say yay!
Yes, I can hear you say yay, and I'm so thankful for our time together. I've enjoyed it immensely. Yeah. Thank you, everybody who came today. I think we're at 10 minutes. Let's give that another go. You want to say that again?
I can hear myself through your speakers. You can hear me.
A little bit. A little bit.
And I'd like to, if I can say this, big to you, Sarah Lynn, because like you processed me. This was one of the deepest processes I've experienced on the show so far. Specifically, I hope you can hear me with this. Specifically coming through with the and how the body feels that.
How our body feels living in the future. Mm-hmm.
And when you did that, I heard it, I could hear it, and my whole body went click, 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 click. I just had a chiropractic adjustment,
Wow.
and my neck went and just loosened up completely. Just through that one sentence.
Cool. That's awesome.
Yes.
No, you're still talking like a robot and you're in and out, but you know what, we feel you and we love you and we appreciate you. And what I did hear was that when you felt into the future and then brought yourself back into the present, you had some body adjustments and some energy adjustments. Just nod if that's what you're trying to get across. Yeah. Okay, cool. So I see we're at 11:01, and exactly, okay. It was like a chiropractic adjustment. Pardon me. We're at 11:01. Thank you for joining us, everybody. On behalf of Bev and myself, we love meeting you here. We love being in this space with you, and we're looking forward to the next interview, which I believe is today, right?
Yep.
With Ariana.
Yes, the next one is today.
Okay, so Ariana will be on, and you can access her interview as well. And I think Bev's going to type that in if you haven't registered for it yet. We strongly encourage you to do so. Ariana is an absolutely vibrant bundle of joy and expansion, and there's no limits to where this girl will go. So I'm very excited to see what she brings to our gathering space, to our table. We love you. This has been a riot. Thank you, Bev, for playing today rather than not playing today, because it would have been really easy to not play today because this wasn't working. And I love the service that it brought to everyone and everything by you being willing to jump in and do this, even though it didn't work the way that you thought that it should or the way any of us expected. That is a gift. You are a gift. So I don't think that I know what to do now, but I think Bev's probably going to.
Even if I sound like a robot, I'm just going to do a wave and a bye-bye and maybe.
Okay, cool.
Say goodbye. Lots of love to you all. Mwah, mwah. Mwah, 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 mwah. I love all infinitely. Thank you so much.
Received. Thank you. Goodbye, everybody.